I'm Eddie McClintock
I'm Joanne Kelly.
from Warehouse 13, and you are watching OpenTheFridge.com.
Net.
Net?
Net.
Balls.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
So we're here with Joanne Kelly from Warehouse 13, and I have to say that I've only just watched the entirety of the series in the last year, and I love you guys. I love you guys. Fantastic work, and this year you had such a serious arc.
I did. It was. It's very different for a show to kind of go in that direction, and they did, and I'm glad that we did. It ended up being something that was quite lovely. I think the way that scene with Pete and Myka, you know, when I tell him, it was so touching, and I was glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, and just talking about your relationship with Pete, it's so nice to see a couple on screen that isn't really a couple.
Well, you know, I always say to people, like, so often women are defined by their relationships, and I'm so glad that the show let her develop in her own right, and it didn't have to be in relationship to Pete. You know what I mean? That she just got to be a broad, you know?
And a kick-ass broad at that.
Yeah, and a very kick-ass one. I think the way that women are written on the show is really powerful and really interesting, and hats off to the writers for, you know, we are very, very interesting. The female story is a good one, and I think there should be more of them.
Yeah, I think every character from, you know, people who pop in like Mrs. Frederick,
yeah,
like you are there all the time.
Allison,
the women are so strong, and Allison.
Yeah,
fantastic.
so we really have Jamie Murray is another one. You know, it's been a really it's a very thoughtfully written show. And sometimes, you know, because the comedy's so broad, I think that gets lost. But it is. I think they try very hard to give each of the characters a purpose.
So I saw that you were already filming for next season, and I saw that Robert Duncan McNeil was directing, which is fantastic.
Yeah, Robbie, he's lovely. He's lovely. He was the showrunner at Chuck for, yeah. He's a good man.
I think you're in good hands with him. Can you tell us anything? Give us a little hint about next season, or is it all hush-hush?
I am learning Spanish for an episode. I'm not very good at Spanish, but I'm working really hard. I do get sucked into a telenovela, so that's a little spoiler.
I love the noir episode. You seem to have so much fun with that episode.
That's my favorite episode, is the noir. Yeah.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
If you could do an artifact that you maybe haven't done yet, can you think of one either from like current pop culture or from the history or the past? What would you choose?
Oh God. You know, every year I get this question and I never have an answer. I should probably think of one. I don't know.
Oh, it's okay.
It's okay.
I liked Marilyn Monroe's hairbrush. That was a new look for you.
That was good. That was a good.
Thank you so much for chatting with us, and we're really looking forward to next season. It's lovely meeting you.
Thank you for watching. Lovely meeting you too.
So Allison, I got to say, as a fan of the show, I've been here every year interviewing you guys, and it saddens me to say that this is the last season coming up. But it's been an incredible journey, especially for Claudia. How do you see her story coming to an end with this show?
Well, season 5 is so. I'm so lucky. I have such a full and complete arc to play with. We get to meet Claudia's sister, who we learn at the very end of season 4 is a very dangerous woman. And that's why Artie has been keeping her, from Claudia. So in investigating that, we get to learn about how deep Claudia's roots to the warehouse actually are, how that will affect her as potentially future caretaker. It's been so wonderful to be playing the same, you know, the age of my character is the age that I am. And so all the sort of moments of growth and growing pains that I've gone through in my life have really paralleled Claudia. And so I feel like I've grown with her and I've grown as a result of her.
And honestly, looking at that last episode, the very last scene, I got to say, is the most badass that I've ever seen Claudia. And I guess all the fans are eagerly anticipating that showdown between Paracelsus and Claudia in the next season. What do you want the fans to get out of these last few episodes that you guys have coming up?
Just enjoy this final 6, because I think what everyone's been saying is, the network just told the writers, pull out all the stops. And so while it is a truncated season, it's everything that you've grown to love about Warehouse, the zaniness, the fun, the big ideas, and we're going for broke. It's as wild and reckless and filled with love and appreciation that it's always been. And it's really, I think it's for the fans. This is our season that's, to say goodbye to the fans and to say goodbye to each other. So honestly, I have no sadness about it. I have no heartbreak about it because this is the perfect way to wrap it up and honor the legacy of the warehouse.
Do you see her really? She really embraced the idea of becoming the caretaker at the end of this season. I mean, do you think that she's going to push that even further with the next season? I know you might not be allowed to say.
I don't want to give away too much because I really like the way that we're going to handle it. But, I'm 22, Claudia's 22. We're not really sure about what we want to do with our lives at this point. And so we know that she's excited about it and she's decided she does want it. But everyone has doubts. So there are great moments of, testing the waters. But I think the fans are going to love the finale. I think the finale is my favorite script of the entire series. I cried. We all cried when we read the finale.